we are talking, these are the things which will create irritation while we are using the particular user interface. Means, suppose the visual clutter is like white spaces. Suppose you are seeing the particular, this is something, this is a UI. Suppose if the visual clutter, suppose this part visible at this point, if it is in white space. So, then what happens? Then you can see VIS and LUT ER. So, that doesn't give you a meaning. So, if this clutter occurs in the particular design or after the design is over, then it will definitely affect the usability of the particular model. Okay. Similarly, if I am talking about the information readability, if the information is divided into pieces, suppose if I am talking about HCI, if I am not maintaining the continuity in the particular subject, then what happens? Suddenly, if I am talking about design process, immediately I will go again into UI designs, immediately I go into menus. So, then what happens? Then there will be a certain ambiguity. Similarly, these are the instruction, if we have a following instructions, it should be in order. Suppose if they are jumbled, then it will definitely irritate you, okay, while using the UI. Okay, some incompressible components, annoying distractions, confusing navigation. So, distraction means some images coming in between, or some ads coming in between, or some menus suddenly popping out, okay, because of the bad design. So, that will distract the particular user who is using the particular UI. Similarly, what about the navigation? Navigation means you will be navigated from one page to another page in a proper order. Okay. If the navigation is not in a proper order, suppose if you are clicking on home button, it should go to home page. Suppose if this doesn't happen, if you are clicking on home, then it is going to some other page, that definitely will create a irritation for the particular user. And ineffective operations. Suppose I create a button called as submit. So, that button is not working at all. So, I asked you to fill a form and I asked to submit it. So, you have filled all the form, but the link which I have given to the submit button is not given. So, what happens? Similarly, this particular operation will not be performed. Definitely, the particular user will be frustrated or irritated. And ineffective page scrolling. Okay, I know you know that the mouse will be used for the particular scrolling, or use the keyboard for scrolling in the page. Suppose the scrolling, if it is over or less scrolling, that will definitely create irritation to the person who is using the UI. And if the information is also overloaded, means the information is more and more, so that that may create the hanging of the system, or it will take a lot of time for the particular information retrieval. So, in that cases, the irritation will be again the particular stage of the user will be irritated. He will get irritated because of these particular things. Okay. So, for developing a good design, you need a good designing team, which consists of a development team which works very hard. And it doesn't mean in software engineering, you know, if you are having large number of people in a particular team, that doesn't mean the work is going to be completed fast. The unity between the team and the less less confusion between the team members will provide a better design. Similarly, these human factors such as the mental models, which we are going to talk in the later session, okay, or the communication and common human errors should be reduced, and the visual designs will increase the output of the design. Based on the visual designs, we can understand what is the problem in the particular output. Okay. And similarly, usability assessment, seeing how the users are using the particular UI, and whether the usage the usage of the moderate user is satisfied or not, and the documentation of the particular code should be done, and the documentation will definitely will have an effect, because if the documentation is not perfect, the particular user who is using the particular user interface will not have a particular idea on the developed UI. So the documentation is definitely going to affect the design. Similarly, the training, the whole team should be trained, and they should be trained how to write the code, how to avoid the human errors, and how to assess the particular usability from the users on the particular design, as well as how the documentation should be done. So while the time of KT or knowledge transfer, if an employee is resigning from his job, so at the time of KT also this documentation will work very well. Okay. So now we are going to see the human interaction with the computers. So definitely the humans are having their own style. Every human has his own style. Now how these humans are going to communicate with the particular computer. So understanding how the people interact with the computers characteristics, okay, as well as how they are people are going to have their problems based on the past usage history. So we are going to understand how the human interaction will happen. So the first one is why people have trouble with computers. What is the cause for the trouble in the interaction, as well as how people will respond to the poor designs, okay, and how the people and the tasks are performed in the particular UI. So these are the three topics which we are going to see in human HCI.